Hello! For this video, I will go over the basics of One Piece Bounty Rush, the types of units in the game, the classes, and the elements. With that out of the way, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't done so, and feel free to ask me anything you want about the game in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer them.
Who I am, I'm making a new plan, rearranging my life and I won't look back ever.
One Piece Bounty Rush is a game similar to Capture the Flag. There are 5 flags in total, and your goal is to work alongside your teammates to get more flags than your opponent, or capture all 5 flags and keep them for a certain period of time. There are hundreds of units in this game, with their own skills and traits. Each unit has at least one class and element. I will start with discussing classes. 3 classes are runners, attackers, and defenders. Runners capture flags and are essential to any team, as they're fast enough to capture flags and can take flags from the enemy team, as the game points out to you in the solo practice missions for the runner class. Keep in mind that there are also practice missions for defenders and attackers, and I highly encourage you to do them. They're not very fun, to be honest, but they'll let you practice with different classes and just learn how each class works. Attackers will be your main offense against your opponents. If your defender, runner, or other fellow attackers are having trouble with an opponent, the attacker will usually deal with them. Really, the goal of an attacker is to get more combos. Defenders not only protect treasure, but fill the treasure gauge. Each treasure has a gauge, and defenders can quickly fill them to make it harder for runners or your opponents to capture your treasure. The treasure gauge can be filled to 100% or 150% depending on the unit, so keep that in mind. Now let's move on to elements. There are 5 elements in the game: red, blue, green, and then 2 new units, light and dark. Each element has a strength and weakness against another element. For example, red is strong against green, but weak to blue. Green is strong against blue, but weak to red, and blue is against red, but weak to green. Light and dark are a bit different though. Light elements have an advantage against green, red, and blue units. However, that's where dark units come in. Light units are very weak against dark elements, like seriously. Try watching a Whitebeard fight against a Dark Roger. It is not fair. Believe me, I play EX Whitebeard all the fucking time. And I have to face a Dark Roger, it's not fair. Anyway, however, dark elements are slightly disadvantaged against red, blue, and green units, which is interesting to me. Usually light and dark elements are strong against each other rather than have any connection with the other elements, so it's kind of refreshing to me that they decided on this for the game. Anyway, there are ways to try and make your units more effective against different elements, but that will be discussed in my character support video. Also, don't worry if any of this is confusing to you. Just play your role and make sure you capture more flags than your opponent, and you'll usually be fine. Also, I have timestamps in the description and in my pinned comment, so feel free to skip around or go back to different parts of the video. Now, onto the type of units in the game. Now for the types of characters. There are step-ups, bounty fests, and extreme or EX units. While each unit has a base star level between 2-star and 4-star, we usually separate them between them being either a step-up, bounty fest, or an EX. Step-ups are fairly low-tier units often used for support. Go to exchange, then the yellow battle points exchange. Every unit you see in this shop are step-ups. You can also get step-ups from pulling. Bounty fests are higher than step-ups. They can be used for support, and you'll likely see them in Challenge Battle or League. From the same exchange, go to the red battle point exchange. Any units you see here are bounty fests, but keep in mind that you need to buy the Special Rush 30 to purchase anything from this shop. The yellow one is free, but the red one is not. For more on that, I can make another video on gaining different resources in the game. Like step-ups, you can pull for Bounty Fest units. Extreme or EX units are the rarest units in the game. They tend to have the most hack skills and traits compared to other units, but it's not always the case. To check to see if the unit is an EX, go to Character/Upgrade, select any unit, and go to their Skill tab. Under Team Boost, if the unit has a rainbow around the icon, it's an EX. EXs can only be attained from pulling and can take a lot of gems. About 2,000 to 3,500. It really all depends on the unit. I think for Light Shanks, it takes about 3,500, maybe even more, just to be guaranteed one copy. Since it takes so much to be guaranteed at least one copy of an EX, I do not advise going for them unless you really want them. Well, that's all I have to say for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what other questions you have about the game. See you soon.
Jana!